SpongeBob SquarePants. These characters deserve to be SpongeBob's neighbor. Hey guys, welcome back to Laffy Tunes. Let's face it, a huge chunk of the series takes place in SpongeBob's neighborhood. A common theme from this is the fact that Squidward deals with constant annoyances from SpongeBob and Patrick. However, it is not intentional on their parts, as all they want to do is include Squidward in their fun. Thus, there is a never dull moment between this trio when it comes to them being neighbors. But who else should be SpongeBob's neighbor? Let's find out. Mr. Krabs. At this point in time, it is strange to think that Mr. Krabs does not live on the same street as SpongeBob. He often spends time with both SpongeBob and Squidward, and they of course all work at the Krusty Krab. From a comedic standpoint, it would certainly be amazing to see Mr. Krabs move closer to SpongeBob. It would be a nightmare for Squidward though, as he would have more of a reasons not to escape work. Plankton. The idea of Plankton living so close to SpongeBob is quite frightening. Plankton causes a lot of turmoil not only SpongeBob, but for the rest of the Bikini Bottom as well. Thus, with him having more access to SpongeBob, this could create a lot of conflict. However, that would in turn add a lot of potential excitement to the series. It would also be intriguing to witness how Plankton would handle being around SpongeBob and Patrick so frequently. Perhaps he would learn to bond with Squidward over their shared annoyance. Larry the Lobster. At the beginning of the series, it seems as though Larry the Lobster was meant to be the main character. However, as the show has gone on, he barely gets any real screen time. He has the occasional episode space around him, but he is not very close to SpongeBob anymore. It is a shame, honestly, as there are some cool moments between them at the beginning of such as when SpongeBob has anchor arms. Larry is a very fun character who ultimately could benefit from moving to SpongeBob's neighborhood. In fact, it is unknown where he lives, so getting a new home is not too far-fetched for the crustacean. Squilliam. Squilliam moving to SpongeBob's neighborhood would be a complete nightmare for Squidward. This is due to the fact that the pair have a heated rivalry, and Squilliam is of course dominating it. However, this would be entertaining for the audience as it would put these hilarious side characters more in the spotlight. The move is certainly unlikely though, as Squilliam is a man of a fine taste and would likely want to move into a very fancy home. SpongeBob neighborhood just does not offer that. Sandy. For Sandy to move to SpongeBob Street, she would need to have her tree dome. Thus, the possibility of this actually is occurring is rather slim, as it would take an abundance of effort for it to transpire. Regardless though, she certainly warrants some spotlight as a hypothetical neighbor. She is one of the SpongeBob's closest friends, while also being present a lot during the series. It also would be nice to see her dynamic with Patrick explored more too. Mrs. Puff. Mrs. Puff would be a fine fit in SpongeBob's neighborhood, at least in theory. Squidward definitely wouldn't mind her presence, as she is far less annoying than most of the residents of the Bikini Bottom. That certainly is a plus for him. SpongeBob also loves spending time with his boarding school teacher, even it annoys her at times. This fact makes it seem unlikely that she would want to love closer to SpongeBob. But alas, she deserves to if it means she would have more time on screen. Fred. Fred is a minor character that has grown into an elite status. This is because of his legendary line, "My leg." In fact, the fans' love for this line even resulted in Fred having his very own episode revolved around him, which is a first for such a side character. With the series being so old, it really would benefit by adding a new main character to the series. Fred could certainly be in line for such a promotions, and having him move to SpongeBob neighborhood would be perfect for that. In fact, Fred actually gets along well with SpongeBob and Patrick too. Bubble Bass. Bubble Bass and SpongeBob have a feud in the series, as Bubble Bass famously lies and says that SpongeBob forgot pickles on his Krabby Patty. However, SpongeBob proves that he is lying, and that marks the end of his character being around. However, he does get the spotlight again later on the series, but it now shows that he lives in his mother's basement. Perhaps Bubble Bass could get his act together and gather the funds to move into SpongeBob neighborhood. It certainly would benefit the show from a comedic standpoint, as Bubble Bass is golden in this aspect. The Flying Dutchman. The Flying Dutchman famously spends time with a trio of neighbors when they are on his boat. He makes them his crew, but of course, does not work very well for him, as SpongeBob and Patrick destroy his ships in the process. He's also moved in with SpongeBob in one episode, though the two didn't work very well as roommates. This is a character who also does not get the same amount of usage as in previous seasons. Having him move into SpongeBob neighborhood for an extended period of time would be a good way to fix this. He also has shown that he likes SpongeBob at times too. Grandma SquarePants. The prospect of Grandma SquarePants moving into SpongeBob neighborhood is honestly beautiful. She is the heart of one of the best episodes from the entire series, but she is not used in any big storylines again. It would be amazing to see SpongeBob spend more time with his grandmother, which would make her living closer to him a perfect opportunity to do this. She could be a positive figure in Patrick and Squidward's life too, and she is quite nurturing and kind. That's all for today. I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching.